This is gonna take a very, very long time. You ever wanted to know what 6 to 8 hours of sorting Pokemon cards looks like? May I mention a Pokemon card collection that spans over the course of 2 years? 4 years? No. Where did I pull this Entei card? It's been a year, but it feels like it hasn't been that long. So yeah, the course of about a year and a half, 2 years of... These are all the duplicates. That's a lot. Now, what do I plan to do with all of these? We're cutting them and I'm making buttons. So I've had so many Pokemon cards over the last... I swear to God, it feels like it's been longer than 2023, but that's when Crown Zenith came out and that's what got me collecting again. Like, my humble brag for the week, I got my hands on Prismatic Evolutions. Where's my Flareon? Did not get any God packs, but I did get this. That's pretty cool. And I made all those Pokemon necklaces last week, so I decided to make some buttons out of my duplicate Pokemon cards. 3 days a week, 3 to 4 days, an hour or two each time. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night. My back is on fire, so now I get to start cutting these. Because I have a convention this Saturday, and it's a gaming convention, so I'm selling Pokemon buttons. We'll see how it goes. As I mentioned, the first initial organizing took fucking forever. Like, I actually went back and checked all the videos I was watching while I was doing this, and it was about 6 hours of organizing. So that alone was already exhausting. But I knew that if I didn't start this project now, I would never get it done. So brought everything over to my desk, and I finally started cutting. Now, I use a manual button press, buy my parts separate, but my cutter for my button press is one of those little manual ones that you put the circle on top of the artwork and you put this little device on it, you hold it down and you spin the handle around because there's a blade in there and that's what cuts the image out. Oh my god, ow, did that hurt like a bitch? Because I have to move under my arm, like push it under the one way, then reach around and whoosh it over. So that right there was one level of pain on my right wrist, you know, the wrist I have carpal tunnel in. And this manual cutter just slides everywhere. I had to hold it down with my left hand just to hold it in place well enough. Like this cardboard piece I'm using, that's like the back of like a calendar or something that I kept. It's like the same piece of cardboard that I use for my paintings. But I had to tape that down because it was moving around, but I couldn't really do much for the cards, so I just kind of did my best. Some of them came out with like a double line because when it got to the end, the whole piece shifted because the cardboard on the cards is slick. Like, you know, Pokemon cards have that sheen, that shine. So they had that. So it wouldn't stay. So holding it down, now I have pain in my left hand. And I did this for 200 cards. And to be fair, I wasn't counting how many cards I was doing. I know I wanted to do 2 or 3 handfuls of my overstock cards because I didn't know how many button parts I had left because I had bought this big bag of button parts a couple years ago. Don't remember how many I've used or how many I have left. I know it was like a 2,000 part order. It was huge. And they're just like 25 millimeter 1-inch buttons. So, but yeah, I wasn't sure how many parts I had left. I have a lot more than I thought I did, but that's fine. But the 200 cards made like little to no dent in my overstock. And I'm looking at my overstock cards like, oh my god, I have way more Pokemon cards than I thought I did. And that's fine, I guess. But that's fine. That means I just have more backup cards if I want to make a craft with something or if I need more buttons in the future. Just that kind of deal. So I'm saving those. I'm not going to get rid of them. And I would think I was up till like 1 in the morning Sunday night doing this because I am a freak and decided to try to get all of them at least cut before Monday because I wanted them done by Tuesday. I'll get to that towards the end. So I got them all cut and I was showing my partner and I'm like, look at this, how painful it is to see these Pokemon cards cut. And as I showed their real cards, when I ripped them, you could see that black layer in between. And my partner was like, oh, I tried to make buttons out of my old energy cards. So here's some advice. Peel the back layer off. Like the back of the card, the blue part with the Pokeball. Yeah, they were like, yeah, like peel that part off because the card is too thick to fit in a button press that the plastic won't stay because there's not enough room. So what did I do? I fucking peeled all of the back layers off of 200 Pokemon card circles. Some of them I couldn't lift up. Some of them were perfect circles and some of them weren't, like with that weird, sometimes my wrist was giving out towards the end, so some cards had not an all cut, so I would pull and rip them out from the card part itself, and other cards had a perfect clean cut, but the ones that had a perfect clean cut, I had to take my X-Acto knife and super carefully slit it down the middle, just enough to peel off the back part. And I did, like I said, I did that for 200 cards. 200! And I don't even know how long it took me. I don't know when I started. I know I said I was up till like 1 in the morning, but I'm trying to be honest, I don't remember much. So I ended up checking my clock about when I was done with everything, and it was like 2:15 in the morning. I'm like, I have to get up for work at 8. So yeah, did not get a lot of sleep. Threw all the scraps away. I already had my button press out just to be sure. I was doing some tests before I went to bed. But when I woke up, the first thing I did after I brushed my teeth is go back downstairs and immediately start pressing buttons. And the entire time I have been in this house, I have only pressed buttons in 3 different places, and that has been my kitchen table upstairs, which I'm not doing at 9 in the morning, bringing my whole setup outside, which I don't know if you know this, I'm in the northeast. It's 5 degrees outside, so that's an option that's not happening. Or my bedroom floor. I've always just done it on my bedroom floor. It was just easier, so I started pressing on the floor. And I will apologize because if this part is not to the floor scene, my foot is just like out in the video. I apologize for that. I hate feet. I usually sleep in socks, but like I said, I didn't even get dressed yet. I just immediately started pressing buttons, and I sleep in fuzzy socks that just fall off in my sleep because I'm stupid. And I didn't realize that my foot was in frame for like a minute and a half. Like of real time, so whoopsies, sorry. But then we got to the point where as I was picking buttons to press, some were thicker than others. Like some of them I was able to get just right down to that middle black layer, then other ones I was able to peel off just the top art, and some of them I was just able to get the back part off. So they were different thicknesses, and I was trying to go for like the thinnest ones while sitting on the floor, because I noticed that if I'm sitting on the floor with a thicker piece, the plastic piece won't stay. And I had like 8 buttons that the plastic piece came off that I just peeled the plastic off, whatever, reused the plastic because I don't like, try not to waste in this house. The only way it would work for the thicker pieces was if I was putting pressure on it, like on my knees, which was killing my back. So then I thought, what's wrong with my desk? Like, why can't I just go sit at my desk and do this? So I brought everything over to my desk because at that point my back was hurting, my knees were hurting, and I was like, I'm just going to the desk, make it easier. The desk was so easy. I remember why I don't sit at my desk and do press buttons, because everything fucking shakes. But I was like, okay, if I do this slow but strong, that should be fine. So it was much easier to pull down, like towards you, down motion, than to pull down when you're higher than the item, if that makes sense. But oh my god, I know, I think I did this for like an hour and a half straight this morning. The day I'm recording this is currently Monday. So this morning, before I went to work, it was so, my arms were killing me from pulling down, and already had the wrist pain from the manual press. And my left hand has a bruise on the palm from me holding down the cutter. Are you kidding me? I go to work and I'm exhausted. I'm like, this sucks. I have to lift like 25, 50 pound boxes. Bullshit. And of course, the second I came home, I also, ate dinner and then immediately just went to start pressing buttons. And I think I was doing it for another hour or so before I finished them all. And my first initial count of my buttons said I had like 200, and then I counted them again, but I did them in groups of 10. And I had 191, and I would like to know how that's possible, because if I had 200 buttons, I have 191, or no, I had 200 circles, 191 buttons, and then I have 8 B grade buttons. So I'm just missing one somewhere, or I miscounted or something, I'm not sure, but I'm way too lazy to cut out more. My body is just, I feel like I'm so old. I'm literally 26 and I'm in so much pain. So we're just doing 190 because they're going to be sold in scoops, or sets I should say. 8 buttons that have no plastic. I'm just going to sell as a single lot of B grade, and you're going to get all 8 of them for $4 plus shipping. Unless they sell at my convention next week. Because yeah, by the way, I got to a gaming convention at the Sherma Theater in Stroudsburg. By the time you're seeing this, oh no, it'll be the Saturday after. So if you're in the Stroudsburg area in Pennsylvania, come see me down at ShermaCon. I'm in the lobby, but the rest of them, when they go up on Etsy, they will be my usual confetti button price, which is you get about 6 of them, 6 or 7, I think 6, yeah, 6, for $5, which is my table price. Only at my tables at conventions and my craft fairs and the Pride Festival. I got invited back. I do my buttons for $1, or I do them for 6 for $5. But there is just one more part of this video, and I can't film it until tomorrow, so I will see you guys in the morning. I was gonna sell these buttons to a guy in town, but he's closed. I'm just going to my bank to get change for this convention. So I'll see you next week with that vlog. Links to everything are down below, and I'll see you next week. Bye.